Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference. Today, we have the very first match on broadcast for the Call of Duty this 2023-2024 season. Joining me is going to be Abcon, and today, the first matchup that we're going to have on our hands is going to be Ottawa University Braves going up against Columbia College Cougars. Now, we are at the very start of the season, so there's like not a lot for us to go off of. They are pretty relatively new rosters as well. We are towards the end of Modern Warfare 2, so these teams are relatively experienced, just not in this particular league. But Abcon, just give me a general overview. What do you think we have going on our hands?
I think we are going to be down to witnessing some of the matches which are going to be pretty unexpected. Teams are definitely going to be going up against each other for the first time. As you mentioned, not just for us but also for the teams, it's going to be pretty uncertain. But let's take a look how the situations are going to go on as per the map vetoes and what's going to be the rotation. Because starting things off, we will be heading up to the hard point, which will be starting up. Then we will be going in down towards the side of Brengate Hotel, which will be search and destroy. Control is going to be the third, and then again it's going to be hardpoint and search and destroy. So it's going to be a pretty exciting one. I do expect it to be a pretty long run for the team, especially to show that with certain areas are they really going to be working on their strengths on. Hard points are going to be one of those, I'll say zones which will be starting things up. But what's going to be your thought towards this? Because this is indeed where you tend to get your head start.
Well, one thing that I would like to mention from the map vetoes that we've gotten is that not a single map has been repeated in the whole map pick and mans, regardless of the game modes. So it's rather interesting. It's like teams are experimenting what they're better on, what they want to go ahead and play most of the time. So this, since we are in the earlier matches, they're testing different playstyles out. This is probably going to be the prime time for them to do that as well. Just give different maps a shot, see how your team stacks up, how they communicate better, and whatever maps work better for you, they're probably going to end up playing that the most, leading into the next few weeks. But we are going to be heading into the map one, which is going to be Hydro Hardpoint. It's Ottawa University Braves going up against Columbia College Cougars as we head into the hardpoint.
Well, exactly, and well, Hardpoint is going to be starting things up, and already we can see as Lightning looks to aggress close towards the center. They are going to be dives move on, and he gets the first one. The opening is unarmed for the start of Hawaii University. Gets the second, and this seems to be a brilliant start as Lightning looks to create so much pressure, while Columbia not yet in to retaliate back.
Yeah, Braves, they've held their line, not allowing Cougars to come anywhere close by, but eventually the break comes through as two kills go their way. The trades, though, E to N and Lightning, they provide them Braves, Lightning, he's found two within the hill. He's been holding down all this time, all by himself so far, but eventually they're gonna have to rotate. There's only 10 seconds left on the clock. The fight for next begins. Cosmic Flippy, he's all the way in the back of the spawn, but eventually should get hunted down by the hands of Token, and he does. That is gonna allow Cougars to have Braves to have their spawn in their favor. Hence, Cougars forced to just fight this one up front, but it's not working out for them.
Braves are just doing it so dominantly. Colombia having no chance right at the scorecard to even bring up some scoreline. But there comes another one. This time it's going to be Lightning, who is up with already a 7-1, just one death to his name. While Strike 7, a 54-point up for the side of Team Ottawa University, and they do not look to stop. Lightning still striking up. Let's see if he could get the 10 with just one death. He just hears him, silently bees and assassins, and takes another one down. Now let's see how Team Colombia is going to come back.
And once again, the battle for rotation kicks off. Lightning was on a 6 kill streak as soon as he popped that dead silence. Unfortunately, was met with his demise as he faced up against two players. But now the rotation is in, and this time around, Cougars, it seems like they may have the upper hand. But E2N, he has other ideas, will get shut down though. Cougars still running around with the spawn, but the head from behind works out in favor of Braves. They are in the back lines, but they're not on the hill, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Token finds a couple, Lightning follows up, and that's going to give them the direct access to the spawns and the hills. Cougars, although they rotate in first this time around, it yet again falls apart for them.
This control seems to be pretty promising, and let's see how Team Colombia is going to just come up and deny it. While the first one does picks up from the side of Siddington, and he goes up. Token just right next to him. Token doesn't realizes it, and he gets punished for the same. Colombia now getting some grip towards this entire game one. Let's see if they could really maintain this entire position. For situations haven't been looking that bright, but Token comes in from the back lines, take the first one, and now the control is back all the way towards the side of Team of the Ottawa University.
Uh, and yet again, we're off for the new hill, and yet again, it's Braves that have complete control. They're even cutting off Cougars midway across their rotation. They're not even allowing them to get close as Lightning continues to pop off yet again on a 6 kill streak. J Plugins is the only person who's made it through so far, but but Lightning actually is the one that shuts them down yet again. An 8 kill streak. His KD is 17-2. The man is on a mission, and the mission is to absolutely demolish any hopes of Cougars to win this map. One at the very least. He has absolutely no one can pretty much stop this man anymore. But
Oh man.
well there you go. I had to jinx it.
Well, that's the third after an entire set of game. But let's see. Time is indeed running out, and this has to be about the time which Cougars will be holding things up with. Well, J Plugin does get taken down from the sidelines. This seems to be a pretty amazing spot from the side of Flippy if he can make some move here. Spots Apollo takes him down. It's going to be an easy one for him, but he has to look for more. The control is now back towards the side of Braves, and now let's see how Braves are going to come in. Oh, the sideline, the side angle, and the off angle looks so perfect. E2N gets two for himself and looks for the third one. Well, that's going to be a couple more unless he gets flipped back from the side of Flippin, and that's going to be indeed an interesting trade. But the grenades, the bait of Util is going to be indeed interesting. Lightning might get down, but well, that's not seemingly supposed to be the case. Now it's time for the Lightnings to strike. He gets one, gets another one, and this is his playground, and that's where Coggers finds himself in.
Lightning has been
Oof.
absolutely fantastic at getting those fine timings to flank with to get those two pieces. His team has been setting him up so nicely as well. It's all just working out in Braves' favor. Cougars, this was probably their best hold off the rotation, off the rip, but eventually Braves they did break it through. It's almost a 100-point lead for them still as we head back onto the B1 yet again. Eaton though this time around gets a little too aggressive, gets punished for it. Lightning does get the trade, eventually will get taken out. And yet again, it's Cougars that are on the rotation first, but Braves looking to break the hill yet again.
The lead indeed stands strong still, 74 points up. I think this ain't going to be an easy one. Coming back from this point of time, you do need to stop what Lightning has in the favor, but all right, Flippy seems to be having a good flanking position. Oh, this would have been the serve, but get expected from the side of Lightning as he takes him down. Lightning still looks dangerous in these positions, and he's just so aware out of each and every positions where he could just smell the side of Cougars coming in from. Let's see if Lightning goes spots on another one. Yes, he does, and he takes him down. Oh man, this is going to be indeed an interesting one as Braves are now here to not just maximize their lead, but also be the first one to touch the 250, almost a lead of 100 points plus for the Sada Team Braves.
Oh, Eden just tucked into a corner, finds one, couldn't find the other, but that's enough of a delay for his team to set up properly. As Token is the one that pushes out, will get the trade on to J Plugin, certain. Though, oh, he gets shot at it from the back. Lightning again, of course, it's that man. He finds another two-piece. Eventually will get traded, but this should allow Braves to reset yet again as they have the favorable spawns. They're gonna have teammates spawning right back in and be able to help them out as the lead has gone way further than 100 points. It seems like Cougars they might be getting a
Oof.
100-point club right here as Apollo continues to dominate alongside the rest of his teammates, and we're off to the races for the next hill yet again.
Great Ghostly still trying to make sure that he gets himself up towards the position in the eastern side. He has the entire control right now, but only 20 points remaining for the start of Team Braves and the first game to their name. Oh, this would have been a chance, but the 8th kill does comes in, and that's going to be just a matter of time as Team Cougars now still willing to take these fights. Cherton is going to get the first one, but he needs to heal himself back up. While he defends his position, Apollo is going to get taken down. This angle indeed looks promising, but there's just multiple threads which is just coming their way back to back.
Back to back indeed. What the Braves,
Ooh.
they're dealing with pretty much everything. Eaton has a KD of 3, Lightning has a KD greater than 3. It just seems like Braves know exactly what they want to do. They're just
Oh
running around
man.
killing pretty much everybody, and that there's only so much that the Cougars have done, and that's a very quick map one to kick things off here.
A dominant one. I think this is not just like the head start which we're talking about, but that pretty much sums up the entire series how you would expect this to go. Well, the next up is going to be indeed the start of Search and Destroy. We do expect teams to be simultaneously switching up their sides, but just look after the numbers. Lightning up with 33 kills, 9 death. You did jinx not only the part where he was having a kill streak, but also the KD, which is now down to like oh, it's still beyond like 3. I believe it's almost
It's yeah.
3.57. Oh my god, a damage of
Oh.
3,573. That is just gonna be insane. And with that, it's gonna be Ottawa University up by 1.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that it wasn't even a one-man show. Lightning, he had an absolutely amazing start to map 1, but he definitely had his help as well. A token, he had a 1 KD. Apollo, he maybe had a negative KD. I'm not 100% certain how he ended things there, but he was doing his job. There were quite a lot of 2 pieces that he got when he needed to as well. But generally, their teams were setting them up so great. Both Eaton and Lightning, they were just allowed to roam freely. They were just allowed to attack onto the hills and onto the spawns whenever they liked to, and that's just practically what worked out in their favor. Cougars, they felt disoriented. They weren't exactly sure about how they want to counter the exact approach of the Braves, and it showed. There was just a sort of confusion going on back and forth between the players of Cougars.
Exactly, but now it's just game number 1. Hardpoint was indeed just a nightmare for the side of Team Cougars. But going up next, let's take a look after how the entire map vetoes are going to look up as the first game goes in the favor of none other than Braves. Up next is going to be the side of Brengurg, where it is going to be indeed Search and Destroy. Now, this is something which really boils down to your control, which you have over the entire set of map, over the entire set of controls, which you tend to take in those early seconds. Indeed, I do believe, like, given the firepower, getting that edge onto, like a lighting on the very first start is indeed going to be very important for you. And coming down to a, like a objective game like this, like Search and Destroy, it's pretty much important for you to not just make sure that it's the kills which you are totally considering in, but it's the objective too, which you do have to make sure that it comes down in your favor. And it has to be pretty much tactical approach for the side of Cougars, while compared to the side of Braves, they have been feeling confident. They have been feeling as if they have the entire game right up their name. So like it's gonna be about time we're gonna see if Team Cougars are really be able to get the first one on the scorecard, or is it gonna be a 2-0 head start already for the side of Braves in the series?
Yeah, I mean, with considering the momentum that Braves have going on in their favor, it might as well be, nothing to take away from Cougars. Sure, it's only Hardpoint. We have seen numerous teams across the seasons of KCAC where teams are just generally better at one particular game mode than the other. Teams are pretty much terrible at Hardpoint. They can be absolutely amazing at Search and Destroy and Control or whatever else their game mode is, but teams can be absolutely mediocre on Search and Destroy, but still have amazing performances on Hardpoint. So we're gonna have to wait and find out what sort of a team Cougars exactly is. But Braves just walking off with the confidence that they have on map 1, the momentum, the individual prowess that they showed on map 1, it just seems like generally they are going to have the upper hand on map 2 as well, and particularly in this whole series.
Surely, I do think, but it's going to be a BO5 series. Cougars, if there's any time to make sure that they are able to give their setbacks, it's right here. Because after this, I do believe we'll be heading all over to the side of Control. And Control, then again, it comes down to, you're showcasing off your firepower, which indeed has, like Ottawa University Braves have a crucial edge in that. So if you ever are about to get the first game, it should be right here, right? Like if you manage to keep things up for the third and fourth part, I think fourth game of the day is indeed going to get back with the start of hard point, where it should be a pretty easy closer for the start of Braves. But let's see how things are going to kick off as we just waited for the up next game. Up next game is just going to be starting in pretty soon, and it's going to be an interesting one. As coming out to Search and Destroy, do you really think that, like, Braves are, that 4v4 fight which we classically get to see is indeed going to be something where you do expect them to give the respect, to play patiently, to hold the nerve, because it's going to be more of, a tactical approach, as I mentioned, for you to make sure that you take the control and then play the objective game here.
Yeah, and well, we are officially loading into the map number 2, which is going to be Hotel S&D. And as you said, teams they're gonna have to respect each other, but with how map 1 ended, I'm not sure Braves want to slow down. Lightning and Eden, both of these guys, I think especially Lightning. I think he's just gonna run straight into a couple of players and try to pick them off one by one, and possibly maybe trying to go for a few aces in this. But we're gonna have to wait and find out if Cougars allow that. Cougars themselves can be absolutely amazing on this particular game mode. We're yet to find out.
Exactly. I'd love to see if we do get some heavy rifles, some snipers, but
Oh,
already the first one guts up, and that's going to be Team Cougars down to only three. Oh man, that's a total disrespect. They take off the closest edge, and now Lightning, he could explore so many angles, but this is going to be a little difficult as one
the
of the players just
timing.
passes right him. The timing is going to be interesting. He hears the footstep, and now he has so much advantage. He goes and gets another one. Team Cougars down to only two, but Lightning is just himself. And with that, finally, he gets shut down. It's a 1v2, and all come down to Sarotin as he finds a polo and down in a 1v1. It's he to end to save it for Braves.
Eden, certain the bomb dropped. Certain has to retrieve it. And I'm not sure if Eden has any idea though. I don't think
So he's
Lightning
going to
called it
A.
out that the bomb was dropped. Yeah, Eden, he's still hoping that maybe Certain shows up over towards the B side, but that's not going to be the case. The bomb should get planted soon, as we only have 15 seconds left on the clock. Eden, as soon as the bomb drops, he should realize it. Now, what's going to be now? Eden running straight over towards the spawn side, and Certain, he's expecting this. It's just going to be a matter of timing here yet again.
Oh, free fire.
It's
Both
unfortunate. He didn't
Ethan
spotted.
Jones.
Stunned, but he still gets the
Oh.
kill. Certain almost clutching that 1v3 to put that first round on for Cougars, but Eden just completely denies it.
That's insane as he just keeps himself down. And that was just, I don't know how he made that look so easy, but being stunned, getting himself up, and being down to such low HP, that wouldn't have been an easy one. But the side switch does comes up, as now you do expect the side of Team Reds to come up, be at the attack side, and to make sure that they be the first one to get the bomb down. But indeed, Cougars, they almost had it. And I think this is the mind game that they really need to play. Getting the off angles, getting the flanks up for themselves. I think this is going to be pretty interesting. But for the first time, let's see how Braves are going to approach towards the position of attack, as Ghostly indeed goes in for the mid fight and takes a major chunk of damage on himself.
Yeah, that's already two players fallen for Braves. But still, Eden and Apollo alive. Eden currently on a 2-kill spree. Start there from last round.
What?
Almost takes Flippy out. Eventually will finish the job. Certain though. He wants his revenge. He's still
What?
close by. And now it's Eden who's up for a clutch. Won't be able to do so. And it's Cougars that secure their round and tie things up to kick things off in the S&D.
Oh man, the snipers indeed does come out, but what an interesting round. Getting the early intel from the mid, Ghosty, I think he takes a huge chunk of damage, but does gives a call towards a quick rush all the side towards the A, and the rotation indeed was so well. Team Cougars, they won all the duels, and this is how they could really manage to keep things up, especially being at the defense side. Now the swaps are indeed going to come in, and Braves are going to find themselves up towards the center position. All right, it's going to be a four stack all the way towards B, and I think B side is completely left open. Four stack towards it. The first kill does comes in, and that's going to be Cougars down to only three players. Ethan does wanting to go in. The nade might land right up front towards the side of Token, but Lightning gets taken down, and I think that's a big breakthrough if you're Kogos.
Oh, one-on-one trade goes through. J plugin going to take the man advantage in his favor, and Aiden there to just neutralize it immediately. Not let Cougars take any map control behind that one particular kill that they got on Token. Apollo peeks out. Ooh, that's unfortunate. He's taken a lot of damage, but somehow managed to get out with his life, and that's the bomb rotating as well. Flippy, he's kept them distracted enough for him for the bomb to go down safely, and eventually when the Braves realize what has happened, it might be a bit too difficult. Jay Plugins though, ooh, this could have been amazing for Cougars, but he has been spotted out. Eden knows exactly where he is, and so does Apollo. Apollo playing around it. Eden, though, he's waiting for nobody. He's gonna go straight running into Flippy, and that is going to get punished for it. Apollo left alone up against two, and this should be a round for Cougars.
Time yet against Braves on. That's another win. Team Cougars, they win it one more time, and that's going to be a lead for them this time. I think they do manage to get themselves up with an attack round. Apollo, the only player left, gets taken down all the time, being favoring the side of Team Cougars, gets themselves up with the second round. And now, as we move things up towards the fourth, it's going to be back Team Braves towards the Bravo, towards the attack side. The previous time we saw them, it was a real quick A aggression. They didn't manage to put a big major chunk of the damage towards the mid onto the side of Ghosty. But let's see how the fourth round pans out for them. Because if they lose this, Team Cougars, they'll be just halfway there towards their victory.
Well, Ooh, Token, he's pushed all the way up. This is some amazing positioning for him. He can catch a few off guard, but it's going to be Lightning that provides first blood. Pushed up over towards up top bedroom as himself. That's Joe Plugins goes down. So does Flippy, leaving only Certain all by himself against forward. That sniper, sure, it's deadly, but is it deadly enough? Is it lethal enough to take on four players? And the answer is
Uh,
no, as Eden cleans him off, and we're tied up 2-2 yet again.
Quick round, and with that, not even letting themselves get the objective up. What a play, I think, so far from the side of Ethan. He has been a complete, like dominant player all throughout this entire like game number two. And now as we get things up back for the side of Cougars as they find themselves up in an equalizer, let's see if things are really going to turn up because pace and momentum is something which you might really tend to get for yourself up. The bomb indeed is going to be picked up from the side of J Plux as he rushes up towards the B side from the side of Team Braves. Let's see how things are going to eventually come up. All right, the bomb is going to make his way to B, and oh, just look at that mid position. Team Braves are really looking to flank. The first kill does comes up and Serotin gets taken down. They've completely lost mid, but then again, the backstab is going to be so well taken care of as Lightning gets down. Flippy is going to take him down. A 3v3 scenario still. Team Cougars look to head towards the B side, and that's going to be completely left open. It's a retake, and Braves has to make sure that they play their cards right because it's going to be a pretty difficult one this time.
Yeah, Lightning, as you mentioned, that flank was absolutely amazing. He found one. Had he played that slightly slower, maybe he could have found another, but it's going to be Flippy that puts the second kill on board for himself in this round. Token going on a flank of his own as he waits for Apollo to run back all the way towards the spawn and maybe find an entry in, but they're taking this slowly. They want to go for a pinch here. Apollo just hoping that somebody peeks it out. Ooh, go! He spots Ghostly out. The nade going to possibly force him out of his positioning, but not exactly. As Token Heal gets into the side, will be able to find
Time.
one, but the trade is good. There's not enough time anymore, and Cougars secure their third.
Third one is indeed going to be there, but it all started up. The first blood did came in for the start of Team Braves, but after that, it just looked to kind of fall apart. It just looked as if situations aren't going to be that pleasant for them moving things up after the post plant position, and they just really, as you mentioned, wanted to play the pinch here. They wanted to make sure that they attack from all side at the same time, but the time just not by their side. And with that, the third round is up. The Cougars just need three more to get the first point up on their series. But this time it isn't going to be that easy as Team Braves are up with their objective to make sure that they play the bomb, yeah, and they are just rushing in towards the A side. I'd love to see how Flippy is going to come up as he is taking the room. All right, they might go on for the early aggression, and yes, that's going to be the case as Token chooses to just pedal and gets the first one. The numbers working good for the start of Team Braves. The bomb indeed has to go down, and it's only going to be 40 seconds left. But what a way to cut the rotation off for the start of Team Cougars, as only to one player remain. And Sarutan, who hasn't been the, like pleasant in terms of this 5 frags. Let's see how he is going to come up, because he has only 25 seconds left and a 1 versus 4. A very difficult objective. Might find the first one, with Token just so good with his jump. Denies it. Lightning at the right position at the right time. Gets the third one, and that's yet again an equalizer for the side of Team Braves.
We're yet to see any of these teams win a defense round. So, uh, with the rate that we're going at, if we do hit overtime, whoever is gonna have the attack side of that round is probably gonna end up winning. So, if you're either Cougar or Braves, you're hoping that it doesn't come to that, and you can secure maybe one defense round to put yourself over the edge and give you that 1 round lead, and just continue to win your attack rounds as usual to close this map out. But Cougars this time around, now once again on attack. The bomb's out. Usually we see they have some early presence over towards the B side, but this time around, now that Lightning's hanging around that area, they've just completely abandoned it. They're playing over towards the A side. Their Braves
Apollo,
recognize it and are gonna have the rest of their players pull towards that side as well.
Polo, he dared to peek it, but gets backed off. The bomb hasn't yet been put down, so this gives Team Braves a lot of options. But Ethan comes up with the first. Token finds two, and that leaves Cougars with only one player. The bomb not yet been down, and seems to be another one of the rounds which Braves are going to get in. Pretty 1v3 looks dominant one. Oh, Certain gets
Oh.
spotted. A huge chunk of damage with the reflex, and turn is just too good, and two consecutive victories for the side of Team Bravo. From the side of Team Braves, I think this is just looking pretty dominant. And as a team, I did mention, like, this game is indeed going to fall down to how long are you going to hold your nerves. You can take them down tactically, and that's what Team Cougars were doing. They were waiting for Team Braves to make sure that they give their first, flying. They give up their first position. They do a small slight mistake, and then they get the numbers to their side. They tactically give their approach towards the entire game and win the objective game here by putting the bomb down. Now the bomb is going to be up from the start of Braves, and a quick rush towards the start of B. Seton does manage to put out some util, but he gets retaliated by a chunk and loads of nades. The first one does comes up. Token is going to be there, but Flippin takes him down. Apollo goes and takes another long range shot. Lightning is going to find Flippy, and with that, the round is all gone over. And Braves are going to find themselves up almost towards a match point, as I was about to say. But Selton left in a 1v2 scenario. Let's see if we could save the match point for his team.
Not going to be
Oh,
the case. It's Eden that finishes things off, and last time around, the defense round that Braves were able to secure, that's exactly what I was talking about. As soon as they won that defense round, it sort of felt like it sort of feels like that has just settled the dust for this map, because the attack rounds, that's exactly where both these teams have been extremely consistent at, and Braves, they continue to do so. They don't lose their attack round, and hence, as you said, they're on map point here, potentially going up 2-0. They just need one more round to close things out on Hotel.
and that's a defense round now. So Braves is going to be an interesting one to see how things are going to be pretty much up. Ghostly goes in. Oh my god, he finds Lightning. All right, things seems to be pretty much into the hands of Cougars as they still manage to hold off their positions. There's no retaliation yet, but Token gets taken down meantime by the side of Jay Plugin, and that's a complete disrespect when you do not play a third
Oh
one.
ho
And
ho!
what a play from Cougars, giving the taste of their very own medicine to the side of Team Braves, and this is a complete different approach which we were kind of missing from the side of Cougars. Cougars were someone who were taking things slowly, claiming the objective here, letting the side of Team Braves make sure that they get hungry for these map controls, and they just end up giving up the speakers advantage to the other team. But Cougars now 2 more points down. One round loss is indeed going to be pretty difficult one, but Braves are going to be back, and this time it's going to be the attack side. So a pretty much difficult scenario. So far, Cougars haven't been best, have just managed to win one of their defenses.
Yeah, But right now it's do or die for them on map two, and they
Ooh.
recognize it. They're playing accordingly, as you said. Usually they're the slow kind of a team from what it felt like towards the earlier side of this map, but now they're playing aggressively. It's worked out for them so far. Eventually, though, Flippy and Certain fall, leaving only two players to clutch things up. Great Ghostly, he'll find one, but Jay Buggins has been spotted out. Eaton now in a 1v2 will finish off one. He knows exactly where Ghostly is as well. The bomb's dropped. The timing. He spotted it, and that's a
Oh,
1v2 to kick it to end things out on map number two as Ottawa University goes up 2-0 in the series.
oh my god, that is gonna be an unfortunate ending. Search and destroy yet again goes in the favor of Team Ottawa University, and with that, they go up with a series lead of 2-0. But man, that was a hard fought battle from the side of Cubas. Like, you gotta give it up to them. Flippy going up 8 and 8, a pretty positive one. Apollo down to 1-8. Like, we did not see much of Apollo's action. I think the only kill we did saw him was on the round number 4. Lightning was down 7-6, but Ethan, I think Ethan was completely on a like a different role, and seeing the players getting so much